Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video, I had mentioned I was, working on and I wanted to do probably a couple weeks or even months back when I did the Milani launch, when they did a bunch of, possible Charlotte Tilbury dupes. And I'm finally getting around to doing it. And we are talking about under eye color correctors. So first of all, what is an under eye color corrector? And an under eye color corrector is something that's either like pink or peach or sometimes even orange, depending on your skin tone. And it helps, tone out the discoloration under your eyes. So if you have dark circles, under eye color corrector is going to, correct that. And then you put on your concealer. This is not necessarily in replace of a concealer. Now, a lot of times, some of these I will talk about could be used. And then you just, I've done that where you just use the color corrector and then I go over with my foundation. I've done that, but this is not a concealer that also color corrects. So there is a difference. Now, I have heard some people saying, I don't like doing two steps. And I'll be honest, I don't necessarily like doing two steps either, except I'm at a point in my life where it's a necessity. I have dark circles, it is what it is. So, again, this is, if you are in your 20s, then, maybe you don't need this. Now, a lot of times dark circles are also hereditary. So, it could be something you're dealing with, but if you don't deal with it and you're just looking for a good concealer, this probably is not the video for you. But if you are someone that has dark circles, then this is the video, because I'm going to be going over a couple different, I think I have total of 8, and some of them I have 2 shades, and going to be going over which ones are my favorite. And all of these I will say are good. There's none that I would say I do not recommend this one, but some are, better than others. I do have my absolute favorite, which I have talked about before, so it's not going to be any surprise if you watch my channel, but I also have some other ones that are drugstore that are, less expensive or more affordable that I also use as well. So, let's get into it. Okay, so I just did a little bit of counting, and I do have 8, and I have 4 that are higher end, and then I have 4 that are, more affordable drugstore type color correctors. So I have kind of, both price ranges, and I definitely, like I said, I have my favorites, but I think there's some really good alternatives that are also less expensive. So I did pre-record some B-roll as far as me putting it on, and so I will be kind of showing that in between the videos and kind of showing you, and I have absolutely no makeup when I'm doing this, so we'll just kind of show you how it looks. And some of these shades, the lighter the shade might make it more brighter, and then some of them is just going to correct the the dark circles. So you're going to see really the difference, and then I'm going to also compare, and I'll do some swatches on my arms as well, because I think also, especially with certain shades where, I have some that I have 2 shades because I didn't know what shade to buy, so I bought both. So hopefully this video will help you determine which shade you might need. Just a rule of thumb, pink is going to help someone with very, very pale skin, do the discoloration. Also, pink can also be very brightening under the eyes. Peach is someone for more of a light to medium skin tone, and then orange is, something orange is going to be for someone with a darker skin tone. Past that, I really don't know. Because I just don't have personal experience and I can't test it. So unfortunately, I can't help you in that regard if you have a much deeper skin tone. But those are the basics for someone from, fair to light to, medium to tan. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, and first up, we are going to talk about the Milani. This is the Under Eye Brightener, Conceal, and Perfect. And again, I do have 2 shades. I have Rose, which is the number 1, and then I have 2, which is Melon. So Melon is considered a brightening peach, and then the Rose is obviously a brightening pink. And then the next shade, there are actually 2 other shades. So the next shade up is going to be Pumpkin, which is Brightening Deep Peach, and then there is a Nectar, which is a brightening orange. So they do have a pretty good shade range for you know, especially for drugstore, and for under eye correctors, they're not going to have a huge, large shade range. So they have 4 shades. I have the 2 lightest, and you'll see here I am putting on the Rose, and the Rose is definitely more. It's lighter. It's pink, and it's going to color correct, but it's also going to be more brightening just because it is lighter in color. And then on the other side, I go in with the shade Melon, and again, this one is really good at color correcting the dark circles under my eyes, and really good, again, takes out that tone, takes out the dark, but it's not going to be as brightening as the pink. Now, which one of these do I use most? Now, I will say in this shade, some of the brands that I have 2 shades, it really makes no sense. Some I like the lighter shade, and some I like the darker shade. I do use both. However, with the Milani, I actually prefer the Rose over the Peach. I don't know why. I do prefer the Rose over the Peach. Now, I usually will wear this one when I'm filming. So that's probably why, because when I'm going out and I'm going to be out for a long period of time, I'm going to wear one. I'm going to wear my favorite. So, and I'll talk about that at the end. But, when I'm filming, I'm only going to be filming for an hour, well, probably 3 or 4 hours. I'll be wearing the makeup, but I can touch up. And this one is, I will say, it doesn't crease. It's not, it's a good thin formula, but it doesn't really crease really bad. It doesn't, I have wrinkles. I'm 46. Everything creases, right? But it's nothing more than usual. But I think it's a really good, solid color corrector that you can get at the drugstore. These run $10.99. What I always say is wait for a sale, because there's always some sort of sale, whether it's at Walgreens or Ulta or something. But if you want it, you can get it. It's only $11. And this is, even though it looks small, this is going to last you quite a long time. But there's always a sale. So if you can hold off, and you can do what I did, is I waited till there was a sale and there was a buy one, get one 50% off. So that's what I did. So basically it was 25% off, but that's why I got 2 shades. So, but I think this is a really good, solid under eye corrector, really good. It's definitely thinner than some of the other ones. So it's not going to, correct as much as some of the other ones. So if you have really, which for me is fine, but if you have really, really dark circles, then these might not work. It just depends on you. But so for me, I have dark circles, but they're not excessive. So these 2 can work. However, if you have probably really dark circles, these might be a little too, thin. So again, but I think they're solid and they're a good, drugstore alternative. Okay, next up, we're going to go to one from Ulta. Now, this one is in a stick form, and here you can see it here. Now, this only comes in 2 shades. It comes in light to medium and medium to deep, so which you will see a lot, but that is the shade. Now, this one is probably, of the ones I have, this is probably my least favorite. It's good, it's solid. It runs $10. However, I got it on sale when Ulta Collection always has a sale at some point, and I got this for $5. So for $5, this is fantastic. What I use this one for is I use this one in my purse. I will put this one in my purse, and that way if I'm out and about and I feel like I need a little touch up, it's very thin, it's very lightweight. I can just kind of go in and and color it and go in like that. Again, it's still very thin, but it's very easy on the go because it's in a stick form. I can go like that, tap it out if I feel like I've lost the coverage or the circles are kind of popping back through. So that's what I use this one for. I wouldn't pay $10 for it. If you're gonna spend $10, I would get the Milani before that. However, if they have a sale and you see it and it's $5, absolutely pick it up. It's great. But for $5, it's great because you, again, put it in your purse. If you need it, you can have a touch up. So I got the light to medium. I think the medium to deep is probably a little bit more peach. It doesn't look to be very, very deep. It doesn't look to be very, very dark. So if you like more of a peach and not, this is more of a pink, then you might want to get the medium to deep or go in store and check it out. But again, I think this one is a solid one. It goes on easily. It spreads, it smooths out easily. Really good for on the go. But of the 8 that I have, this is probably my least favorite. Okay, next up we have the most affordable base price, and if you can get it on sale, it could probably be even cheaper. I probably got this on sale, and it is from LA Girl. It is the Pro Conceal High D Definition Concealer Corrector or Corrector Concealer, and I have the shade Peach. So I only have one shade. This comes in a variety of shades. So this comes in, and they also make this form in a concealer as well, but this comes in peach. It also comes in pink. There's an orange, but then it also comes in other colors for other types of correcting. So if you have redness, green is very good to cover up redness. So this is a really good, again, solid, color corrector. Now this has the little kind of brush here. So I'm not really thrilled with the applicator. It works fine, but it's a really good color corrector. It's pretty thin, so you're not going to have really heavy for something that is, if you have a concealer on top, this is going to, give you a good color corrector. So, here I am putting it on, and then right now here is a side-by-side of the LA Girl and the Ulta Beauty on each side. So you can kind of see the comparison. But again, this one runs $5.49. $5.49, absolutely fantastic, great price. So if you are looking for a nice drugstore, this one also would be great just to have in your purse. They also make it in pink, so if you want something a little bit lighter, they make it in pink. That is something you could also do too. But again, it's a really good affordable. So if you're on a budget, definitely check out the one from LA Girl. Okay, next up is probably my favorite of the affordable category, and it was a big surprise to me. And they are from Makeup Revolution. Now, I typically don't purchase anything from Makeup Revolution. However, I had seen these and I was working on this video, so I decided to do so. It only comes in 2 shades. It comes in light to medium and medium to deep. And I've heard that these are kind of a dupe for the original BECCA. And when I compare to, because I do have the new ones from Smashbox BECCA, the shades are, I think, similar to what they originally. With the BECCA, they actually came out with 2 additional shades. But this is the light to medium, and then the medium to deep is more peach. So this is probably the deepest one that I have, or the darkest one. I can still make this one work. It's not going to bright, it's going to color correct. However, of these 2, this one is definitely for me. It's going to be this one right here. This one is a little too deep, or I can mix them together. So that's another thing I can do. Now this one is so creamy. It is so creamy, I can't even say it. Like, it is just really, really creamy. Now I have very dry under eyes. I don't have dry skin, but my under eyes are dry. So this works really, really well. I did read some reviews because I wanted to hear what other people's reviews were. And you can see this is the medium to deep, but it smooths out really, really nice. So you can see that. But some people were saying that if they had oily skin, these aren't going to work. So if you have oily skin or oily under eyes, this is probably not going to work. Now, again, these are only $8. So a lot of product, only $8, and these are really, really good, but they're not going to work for everybody. So for me, they work great because I do have dry under eyes. I can put them on, set it with powder. What I will do is I will mix the 2 together to get a good, shade match, because the light is a little too light, and then the deep is the darker one is a little too dark, but mix them together, they're perfect. and they're only $8. So if you put them together, it's only $16. And again, there's always a sale. I got these at Ulta when there was a, I think buy one, get one free, or buy one, get one 50% off. So at the most I paid $12 for both of them. So with anything, I think for a lot of these things, you can always try and wait for a sale, especially for the drugstore type or the more affordable ones, because there's always some sort of sale, especially at Ulta. So yeah, these are great. This is by far my favorite of the drugstore one. I think after these would be the Milani one, then the LA Girl, and then the Ulta. But these for me are the clear winner in the more affordable category. Okay, so now we're moving on to the color correctors in the higher end category. And this next product was in my best of 2022. It was a product that did come out in 2022, and I think it did. It is from Sigma Beauty, and it is the Spectrum Color Correcting Duo. So I have the shade light to medium. And what I love about this is it gives you actually 2 shades. So I did go ahead and put this shade, the lighter shade, on one eye, under one eye, and then this shade on the other. However, just like I did with the Makeup Revolution, you can mix them together as well. What I typically do is I will use the lighter shade as an under eye corrector, and then this shade right here I can use as a spot concealer on my face if I have any blemishes. That's what I use this for. But you can, this one's going to neutralize. I use this a lot if I'm doing like a no makeup day, doing like a tinted moisturizer, something very, very light. I can just use this, not go in with a concealer, use this. So, but it is a really good. Now this runs $30, so it is a little bit more pricey. However, Sigma always has sales as well, but I do think it is worth the $30 because you are getting 2 shades, you're getting a really good quality. This was sold out forever. I was waiting to get it because I had heard about it, wanted to try it out, and it was sold out forever. So it finally came back in stock. I just looked, it is in stock right now, but that's how good it is. Especially the light to medium, that was the shade that was sold out for a long time. But really, really solid. I love this. It's really nice. I love that it has the little mirror in there as well. Really, and actually it's the only, no, I think that the other one does, but really, really convenient, but it's really a good, good product. So you can kind of see, now it's not as creamy as the Makeup Revolution. You're gonna see but it goes on pretty smooth, and it does have some, you know, a peach undertone. So you can kind of see it there, but really, really good, solid, and definitely, definitely worth checking out. Okay, next up is going to be from Bobbi Brown. I think this one came out last year because I was sent this one in PR, and I have the shade Light Peach. I really like this. It is a stick form, so it's kind of very similar to the Ulta, but I like this one much better. Plus it's the peach. So here is the light peach. Now this one comes in 12 shades. So that's another good thing. So you can see right here, there's the shade, and I'm going to compare the shades, all of them together. So very, very creamy, very good. What it says on the website is a natural looking color correcting stick that neutralizes dark under eye circles and discoloration on the face for up to 12 hours of coverage. So it really does. This is the one I'm wearing right now, by the way, because I filmed all of the B-roll before, and this was the easiest one to do. This is the one I ended up with. So, but I wear this one a lot, and this lasts a while because you don't use a lot of product. And actually for most of these things, you don't use up. I have realized that they last a long time. So that's why I don't mind spending the money for a higher end color corrector, because it's gonna last a while, and it should last a while. So, but it's a really good product. So again, I have the shade Light Peach, which I think is perfect for me, but they have a good shade range, and they have shades that are even lighter. There's one that's like extra light bisque, which is a very light pink bisque. So they have a good range of shades, but 12 shades. So this is the one that has the best shade range. And again, this one is $33. So next we're moving on to the one from Smashbox and BECCA. BECCA went out of business, I want to say in 2021, September of 2021. And BECCA and Smashbox were both owned by Estee Lauder. So they bought or got some of the formulas. So their highlighter formula and the under eye corrector, and they have continued to make it. So again, this is one that I have 2 shades. So I have the Fair Light shade right here, and then I have the medium. So there are 4 shades now. When it was the BECCA formula, there were just 2 shades. So the medium, from what and I didn't have it, I had tried it, but I never had it. The medium, from what I understand, is the one that was the lighter shade for BECCA, because BECCA only had 2 shades. So when they reformulated, they came out with additional shades. So they have since added this fair light. This was the old light medium. And then there is a medium dark, and then there's also a dark. So there's 2 additional shades. I think the medium dark is the same medium dark as before, and then they added a dark, but I'm not 100% sure. But these are the 2 that I have. This also runs $33, just like the Bobbi Brown. However, I got these during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. It was 50% off. That's why I picked up both, because I figured $16.50 for both, and I wanted to try it out. And again, working on this video. So you can see here where I'm trying on both shades that, you know, again, you're going to have the lighter shade is going to give me, you know, a little bit brighter under eye, whereas, you know, the little bit darker, peachier shade is going to be more coverage, but it's not going to give that brightness, but it's going to cover probably the dark circles a little bit more. So really depends on what you're looking for. Now here is the fair light. You can see it here. It almost doesn't even show up on my skin. And then here is the medium. So the medium, now when you put it on the eye, you know, you blend it out and it's going to color, you know, take out that discoloration. So sometimes you want a little bit of peach, but I do think I wish I had the other one to compare it to because of colors, because I feel like this medium may be a little bit darker than the original formula with BECCA, but I don't know. But this one's good. It's solid. It is a reason why it was a fan favorite. It was a reason why everybody was upset that it was going away. It's really good. It lasts all day. It gives good color correcting. But I kind of feel like it's just a little bit better than the Makeup Revolution, and the Makeup Revolution is 1/4 of the price. So while I do really like these, I'm not sure if they're worth it. I think it just depends on if you have oily under eyes or oily skin, then this probably would be better for you than the Makeup Revolution, because the Makeup Revolution is very, very creamy. These have a little bit more, I guess, staying power than the Makeup Revolution. Now, if you have dry under eyes, then you probably would want the Makeup Revolution. If you're kind of in between like me, I think you could go either way. It might just depend on the shade, which shade looks better on you and which shade you prefer. But I think they're both, you know, they're good, solid. But again, these are $33. The Makeup Revolution is $8. So, these I think are, again, they're good. There was a reason why they're a fan favorite, but I also think they were a fan favorite because at the time that they came out, nobody really had anything like this. BECCA was the first, you know, at least from I remember, it was really the first brand that had something like this, and nobody really came out with something like this on the market for a while. So, good, solid, not my favorite, and of the higher end, this is probably my least favorite of the higher end, but it's still really good. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about my favorite, and that is, if you've watched my channel, you probably know what it is. It is the one from Charlotte Tilbury. It is the Magic Vanish Color Corrector. So this one, you can tell, this one has been loved. This is my medium. I have had this one at least 2 years. It's been a while. It still works great. You can see I have hit pan on it, but it's fantastic. I love this one. It is so good. Now, I did get the shade Fair because I did want to compare, and I just got this one. This one I just got probably during one of her like Christmas sales. I picked up the Fair. I had been wanting to, and I finally just went ahead and picked it up. So you can see the comparison between the two. Now, I think I still prefer the medium because this one is just going to cover and correct the dark circles a little bit better. This one's great for brightening, but this one is good for covering the dark circles a little bit better. But really, really great. I mean, to me, this is To me, this is my holy grail. I think the other ones are good. I try them, I use them. I do use them a lot as well. It's probably why the one from Charlotte Tilbury, the medium, has lasted me as long as it has, because I do use the other ones. But it blends out so nice. It wears so well under concealer. Now, not to say that the other ones don't either, but the Charlotte Tilbury just works for me. This one is $32, so it is pretty much the same price as the other ones they're all 30, 32, or 33. So they're all in the same price range. Obviously with the Sigma, you're gonna get 2 shades, but, and it probably is less product. I don't know how much exact product is in here, but there's probably less product. But again, this has lasted me for a long time. Now, if you wear makeup every day and you're going to use it every day, I just don't wear makeup every day. But then it's probably going to go fast, through it faster, but it's still going to last you a little bit. I mean, when I tell you a little bit goes a long way. And that's really for all the correctors, a little bit goes a long way. So my favorite by far is the Charlotte Tilbury. However, I do use the others. I do really like the others. And I use them for different purposes, especially when this is what I will wear. This is my go-to if I'm going out. Like if I'm going out and I want my makeup to last, Charlotte Tilbury is what I'm wearing. That's it. The other ones, Sigma, I do wear a lot, and I probably wear the higher end ones more. And if I'm going out and about, during my day, again, if I'm doing kind of a skin tint or something, I'll use the Sigma. And then I use the drugstore a lot ones when I'm doing filming, right? Because, I don't have to wear, it doesn't have to really last long. And, the lights, conceal a lot that you would probably see if I were, in person. So, I do really like all of these. I think they're all really good options. It really just depends on what your needs are, how, deep and dark your circles are, and then how much color correcting you need. And then, or are you just looking for some brightening? And if you are in your 20s, then you probably don't need one of the higher ends. If you're in your 20s, you could probably deal, you probably don't need that much coverage. You could probably deal with the Milani or the Makeup Revolution and be good to go. But I think as the older you get, you just want a little better quality ingredients, and you don't mind spending a little bit of extra money for, better quality. And to me, the Charlotte Tilbury is it. But again, I think all of these are great. I was going to rank them, but I really can't. I think there depends on what your needs are. So with that, I would say Charlotte Tilbury is my favorite by far. I would say for me, the Makeup Revolution is my favorite of the drugstore, but they are all very good. Let's go ahead and do the swatches so we can start doing the color comparisons and you can kind of see how they apply on my arm. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the swatches. So this is going to be the Ulta one, the Ulta Beauty. Next up is the one from LA Girl. So this is the Peach. And now here are the ones from Milani. So Milani I'm gonna put in between. This is the pink. So I'm gonna put the pink in between so you can kind of see the difference and how bright it is compared to the Ulta. Definitely it's a liquid as compared to a stick. So it's gonna be a little bit different. This is the Milani Melon, which is the shade 2. So as you can see, it's lighter than the one from LA Girl. And then here's the one from Makeup Revolution. This is the fair one. And then this is the deeper one, the medium to deep. So that kind of gives you a comparison of shades. So there is a big shade range among these. And you can see how the different shades compare. Okay, so now we're gonna swatch the higher end and compare, and then I'm gonna go back and do side-by-side comparisons of the lighter shades and then with the darker shades. So this is the Sigma Beauty. This is the one this is the lighter shade, and then this is the darker shade. So you can see the comparison there. Here is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the #1 fair. So even though it's fair, it's not pink, it is a very light peach. And this is the 2 medium. This is my favorite. This is the Smashbox and BECCA. So this is the fair light. And then this is the medium. So you can see how the color difference, this is not as peach, is almost a little bit more orange. So definitely a different color than the Charlotte Tilbury one. And then finally, this is the light peach from Bobbi Brown. So that is the higher end. Okay, so now I'm gonna swatch all the lighter shades so you can do more of a side-by-side comparison for the lighter shades if that's what you're interested in. So this is the one from Ulta Beauty. This is shade 1 from Milani, the Rose. This is the Makeup Revolution Fair Light. This is the Smashbox BECCA. So you can compare it right next to the Makeup Revolution. They're very, very close in shade. And then this is the Sigma. This is the lighter shade in the Sigma palette on the left-hand side. And then finally, this is the one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the #1 Fair. So as you can see, this one has a little bit more peach where a lot of them, the other ones are pink, but that gives you an idea of the shade range for the lighter color correctors. Okay, and so let's swatch the darker shades. Here is the one from LA Girl. This is shade 2 Melon from Milani. This is the medium dark from Makeup Revolution. This is the medium from the Smashbox BECCA. Here is the second shade in the Little Sigma Duo. And then finally, this is shade medium in the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish. So again, really different shade range. This is obviously the darkest because this is the medium dark from Makeup Revolution, but you can definitely see the different shade range between all of them. But, you know, really, it just depends on what works for your skin tone and what your budget is. Okay, so with that, I hope this video helps you at least kind of understand the difference between the different color correctors and also what might be good for your skin tone. And also, a lot of it is just playing around because I've played around with different ones and there's other ones. Now, I had some others, but they have since been discontinued, so I wasn't going to cover them. But, you know, it just really kind of works for your skin tone. And what I have found is that the medium Charlotte Tilbury is the one that covers, you know, covers my dark circles the best. But I do use the other ones, and if I'm looking for some brightening, I'm going to be on camera, then I might use a different shade. But again, I really encourage you to kind of go in store and play around if you can, and experiment. And again, if you have like light dark circles, then go with one of the drugstore brands because they are very good. They're very good. They're very good quality and they're affordable. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.